You wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao. I think you were like 27, 28 when you wanted to fight Pac. Why didn't that fight happen?
I don't, man, I hear so many excuses like they didn't want it. But Freddie Roach on the record saying he didn't want Pacquiao to fight for one. And I just think Top Rank wanted to protect Pacquiao because of the money issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was their cash cow. And, you know.
But hell, you could have been their cash cow.
Listen, they don't think like that, you know. So they didn't want to mess up the money that they was getting from Pacquiao at the time. So other reasons, I don't know.
What weight were you guys gonna fight at?
140.
140.
Yeah. 140. So I fought Derry Jean, and they said, you know, that was the marketing tool. Mm-hmm. Crawford beat Derry Jean. He's gonna, you know, potentially fight Manny Pacquiao. Derry Jean was one of Pacquiao's sparring partners. I stopped Derry Jean. That's like, I don't know if I want to fight him. So I had to move on.
If I take Floyd Mayweather in his absolute prime, and I take Manny Pacquiao in his absolute prime,
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd still beats him.
Floyd beat everybody.
You don't believe there's a guy at 140, 147 in the history of boxing that could have beat Floyd in his prime?
I don't know, but it'd be tough. It'd be tough. Floyd, man, that boy, man, that's the GOAT, man. That boy bad. Man, that boy bad.
What makes it, I mean, because, and I told people this, I said, look at Floyd. I said, Floyd, it's not that he trains, I mean, it's his life. And from the very beginning, he's like, I want to be the best. And I look at Floyd. Floyd is not a naturally big man. So Floyd, like you, to get down to 147, you got to drop 20 pounds, 25 pounds.
No, he walked around at his weight.
He ain't 140. He walked around at 150.
Yeah.
So he losing 3 pounds. Floyd going to camp for like 2 weeks, and he done made his weight.
Yeah.
But what makes Floyd the best, so unique, something that we have not seen before?
His defense, his instincts. I think Floyd had the best defense in boxing history.
Better than Sweet Pea?
Yeah, definitely.
Because Sweet Pea had some defense.
But
Sweet Pea had defense, but he ain't that offense like Floyd.
I look at, I say he got more defense than Sweet Pea because he got hit less.
Yes.
You know, Sweet Pea had more head movement, so Sweet Pea was better at slipping punches, making you miss.
Right.
But Floyd on defense, like catch, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
You know, Floyd hands down. Then making you pay, catching counter, catching, slipping. You know what I mean? Like hitting you with shots that you don't see. Like that's where Floyd mastered. You know, hit and not get hit.
And you look at the people that he beat.
Yeah.
I mean, people are all just go back and look at those world champions from the Cottos and the Pacquiao, the Ricky Hattons, the Arturo Gottis. I mean, like 20 plus world champs. I ain't talking about they legit world champs.
Yeah.
And he beat them all.
And he was calling for them all in their prime, you know, so I don't know, man. A lot of people, they give him credit now, but they didn't give him credit when he was active. It's kind of like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
They hated him when he was active. They loved him when he retired and when he got a loss.
Mm-hmm.
They hated Tyson when Tyson was active, but once he got a and he retired, then they loved him. You know, everybody want to see you lose because they want you to feel like you more human than them. They don't want you to be, you know, superior to other fighters, especially fighters that they like.
Right.
You know, so they just like, man, I don't like that guy.
Right.
I see so many people on social media say they don't like me.
What?
But don't have a reason.
Right.
I don't like Crawford, but I hope him and Canelo have a good fight. Okay. What is there not to like about it?
Maybe you run into the same thing, Floyd. I believe a lot of people started watching Floyd fights to see him lose. Do you think people tuned in to watch you lose, to see you lose?
Definitely.
But you don't care as long as they buy that pay-per-view, you good.
Hey, I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what you say about me. You're not in the position that I'm in to even be on the same level of me, you know? And I don't say that in a cocky way. I say that in an honest way. Like, people at a basketball game, you talking stuff to LeBron James and you can't do half of what LeBron James do. You talking stuff about, you know, Aaron Rodgers and you can't throw a 30-yard football. You know, we criticize athletes
but we can't do
for
it.
stuff that we can't even do. And it's just like, man, come on now, man. You come up in here, get punched up in the head, or you try to go across the middle while Brett Favre throw a 90-mile football that'll break your fingers, and Lynch about to come and take your head off.
Right.
You know, so you got to brace because you about to get hit, the ball going fast, and you expect me to catch it every single time.
Yeah.
You know, people don't understand the things that we do and the things that we take our body through to entertain y'all.
Right.
You know, but y'all disrespect us like we not human. So then when we lash out on one of y'all think, oh, everybody like, oh, you supposed to be professional, but we human at the end of the day.
Floyd paid you the ultimate compliment. He says Terence Crawford is the best pound for pound fighter fighting right now. What's your relationship like with Floyd?
Oh, we got a good relationship. I'm cool with Floyd. You know, Floyd had just randomly called me, you know, asked me how my family doing, asked me how I'm doing, and don't even check on, I don't even talk about boxing.
Wow.
He just, I didn't want nothing. I was just checking up on you, champ. You know, seeing how you doing and, you know, making sure everybody good and things like that. And all right, I'll talk to you later.
Wow.
You know, things like that. And that mean more to me than calling me, hey man, what's up with boxing? You know?
I was at this fight. I told you this. I was at the fight that you fought Spence. And I'm sure you heard it. Man, Spence not gotten that car accident, bud. Man, you know you fought that man 3 years too late. You'd have caught him before that accident? I don't know, bud. How often have you heard that?
Man, I think I said everything that everybody was gonna say before they even said it. I think they just looked at the altercation that me and Spence had, and just copied and pasted.
Right.
You know, I hear it a lot, you know, but I was already prepared for it. You know, I was prepared, 3-4 years before it even happened. You know, and that's something that I trained my mind to preparing for, because I knew what it was going to be. I said Spence is a great fighter. I'm a fan of Spence. I've always been a fan of Spence. I watched him in the amateurs. I rooted for him, you know, when he represented the United States. I call him on the phone, check on him. I'm a fan of Spence. The people, the urban community, our own people try to turn us against each other and make it up to a point where nobody likes each other. Why can't you like me and like him?
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And if I like Bud, that don't mean I hate Earl.
Right.
If I like Earl, that don't mean I hate Bud.
Right.
But sometimes it seems to be now, if I like something,
I can't like him.
Right.
But it's only like that in our community. You know, when you look at the Mexican community, they support each other.
Yeah, bro. They ride hard for them.
When you got two Mexicans fighting each other, man, the Mexican community wins.
They go celebrate whoever.
They gonna win.
They are.
You know, they gonna win. When you see us fight each other, it's not like that. You know, and I just always felt like we our own downfall. You know, blacks, Mexicans, rule boxing from the beginning. You know, but we gotta do better with supporting each other, and we gotta do better. And another thing we gotta do better with is supporting the ladies. You know,
The women fighters?
Yeah, the women fighters. You know, you got a lot of women fighters that's doing the same thing that we doing, going through the same thing that we go through, that's putting on hell of a shows.
Right.
But we don't support them. You know, we don't. You'll see them come to all our fights, supporting us, bigging us up. But ain't everybody going to them girls fights.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them girls fights be more exciting than our fights. You know, so I just think that we need to just, as a boxing community, we need to just support each other more. And like you said, if a person lose, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
You know, pick back up. You know, back in the days, you may won that day. He may come back and beat you.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you just gotta, you know, give him his just due and, you know, give him the encouragement that it's not over.
Right.
Instead of beating him while you're down.
How long have you had this Canelo fight in your head?
Man. I've been thinking about Canelo for like a year now. Probably a little bit after after Spence. A little bit after Spence. When they start talking about Spence and Canelo,
Mm-hmm.
I started thinking like, man, Canelo too big for Spence. Like, he gonna clean Spence. But then I started looking at it. I'm like, Canelo not that big.
Yeah.
You know, he's a smaller fighter that's fighting in a bigger division. So I started just sizing myself up to Canelo.
Right.
In my head. He's 5'7", I'm 5'8". I got a 74-inch reach. He got like a 60-something. You know, he's wider than me, but that's it. So I'm like, it match up. It matches up. Like I can do that fight.
Did you ever think he would accept it? Or you just gonna put enough pressure on him, you gonna keep putting it out there and have people put it out there and say, hey, the only fight that makes sense for Bud is Canelo. The only fight that makes sense for Canelo, if he want to fight somebody and he want a super payday, Bud Crawford is it.
For sure. There's no fighter out right now that's bigger than Crawford Canelo. No fight.
I agree. I agree.
You know, so I know a lot of people say, oh, well, Benavidez, everybody want him to fight Benavidez. And that's a great fight, and that's a damn good fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but given the circumstances of Black versus Mexican and the history, I've always did bigger numbers than anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, besides Manny Pacquiao,
Right.
Floyd, you know, Conor McGregor. But yeah.
You believe these numbers will be comparable to that? There are projections that this fight is going to do somewhere between 600 and 750, or $750 million. Floyd right now has the record. He and Pacquiao did 600 million in revenue. You believe this fight, Canelo, Netflix can approach that number or go north of that number?
I don't know, because it's different times that we're living in. When you look at today's time, you got so much piracy. You know, it's different. Back in the days, you didn't have that much.
No, yeah.
But now, you know, everybody got an app.
It's true.
My kids be talking about, oh yeah, I'm watching the UFC fights. I'm like, I ain't pay for no UFC. They watching it on their phone.
Right.
You know, so it's way different nowadays,
Right.
and it's hard. It remind me of back in the days when they was burning CDs.
Yeah.
And the artists was like, man, we can't make
no money.
we can't make no money because everybody burning CDs
Yep.
and stuff like that. So I just think, you know, it's gonna do tremendous numbers.
You were bulljabbing and I was like, you throw a punch, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna come back. He's like, man, that slow ass punch, man, I'd hit you like 7-8 times.
All right.
So when somebody like that dragged, and Floyd is good with that, like somebody throwing, he probably bam.
Yeah.
How do you know what's coming and then how do you counteract that?
Floyd is so good at timing people.
Yes.
He got speed. So by the time you already threw your hand out, he already then seen it, and he already in motion to hit you. So the only thing you can do is pop. It's just brace for it,
right.
you know what I mean? So when you out of position, Floyd is good at getting fighters out of position.
Right.
So when you out of position, you know what I mean, you just gotta eat it, you know?
There's like, because a lot of people say, well, Floyd ain't got no power. But if he ain't got no power, why people didn't walk him down?
Facts.
He did something to keep y'all up off him.
Facts.
Is power generated through speed, or is it generated through sitting down? Okay.
Both. You know, because I can hit you with something fast and you don't see it and you be like, pop, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like whiplash. Looking at the way Floyd Mayweather trained, that was so inspiring. You know, how, you know, he'll run from the strip club. Like everybody think, you know, just because he out there partying, he don't drink or smoke.
Right.
He'll run from the strip club.
Back
he
home.
always working, just working. And I just took that from Floyd. Like I just work nonstop.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before two something.